Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com here, back today with another daily crypto update. As per usual, I'm going to be going over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omigo, and Lisk, all of those in that order in a more detailed technical analysis on TradingView in just a second. First off, let me give a quick shout out to Coinbase. If you haven't purchased cryptocurrencies yet, go check them out. I have a referral link in the description. You can get $10 free when you sign up. They're not a sponsor, I just use them myself. And other than that, let me also mention my technical analysis tutorials playlist. I've been getting some requests to, make some videos on different technical indicators like the MACD and stuff, and I have already made certain videos in that category. So definitely go check out this playlist. I'll leave a link to this in the comments below, and I'll be making more technical analysis tutorials in the future. If there's anything in particular that you want to see, definitely put down a comment and I'll try to get around doing that. But otherwise, let me update you on what's been going on with the general market and the altcoins. So Bitcoin is still doing really well here, moving up towards $8,000. If I'm not mistaken, it actually went slightly above $8,000 on Bitfinex. So that's a very big, thing. It really represents how Bitcoin is now moving, really close to $10,000. So we're going to get to that in the technical analysis. Otherwise, Ethereum still taking a bit of a breather here. Bitcoin Cash falling pretty heavily now, back under $1,000. So, it kind of now confirms that the whole Bitcoin Cash thing is out of the way here, at least for, the next couple of weeks / few months, I would say. So for the medium term, I don't see Bitcoin Cash really interfering with the market all that much, unless, there's a second wave that comes by. The fact that it broke under 1,000 though is definitely not a good sign for Bitcoin Cash, but it probably is a good sign for the general market, right? So obviously, for most people, including myself, this is actually a good thing that Bitcoin Cash is kind of falling off, right? And other than that, but like I said, it could definitely have a second wave, so do be aware of that, and I could see that coming in the future. Now, otherwise, Ripple is actually having a pretty good day today. I think it's breaking out a bit. I'll get to that in technical analysis, but this is a very good sign for Ripple because it has been struggling recently. So it's kind of, getting out of its whole messy range. Litecoin having a very good day today and followed my prediction to a T, now testing the $67 area. That's exactly what I wanted to see. If you're not aware, I am holding a certain amount of Litecoin. I now build up my position completely. So, I'm pretty much waiting for the rise back to 100 at this point. And otherwise, IOTA still moving closer to $1. That's nice to see. Neo and Monero kind of holding back today. Lisk breaking out, towards $10. That's just amazing, and also something that I was kind of expecting. I called in my previous daily crypto update in the video that I made yesterday, actually, where I talked about, the altcoin bounce that I saw coming. Cardano up a bit, and, other than that, we're kind of mixed in the altcoin market. Vertcoin down slightly still going through a bit of its pullback and consolidation. And yeah, not much else to say here. Like I said, relatively mixed. We have Zcoin moving up still slowly but steadily. And finally, the last one that I wanted to point out is Neblio, which is actually up nicely here, over 10%, moving back over $4 it looks like. So just something to pay attention to. It is probably one of the better cryptocurrencies out there. And other than that, let's get right into the technical analysis, starting off with Bitcoin. So as you can see, we did actually make a higher high here today. So we did make new all-time highs on Bitcoin today. And like I said, on Bitfinex, the price did move over 8,000. We're just going to be looking for, a move above 8,000 that holds. And after that, it's hard to say, will there be some kind of big pullback back to 1,000? At this point, to be honest, with the good news that's coming out for Bitcoin and stuff like that, it's not looking likely. I think this was the bottom for this pullback, and it was a very quick and sharp pullback, as you can see by the V-shaped rebound that we had. And now I think, we're just going to keep moving higher. The main support level to pay attention to is going to be this trend line right over here, and of course the sort of $7,500 area, which corresponds to the candlesticks over here. So I see Bitcoin moving above 8,000 here in the next couple of days probably, and now we're gonna have to think when is it going to hit 10,000, and it could be pretty soon. It could be sooner rather than later. That's obviously going to be a big level to hit. I don't think it'll be able to break through 10,000 though just yet. I think if it manages to hit 10,000, in the next couple of weeks or few months, it'll have to get a pullback there and consolidate a bit, because otherwise it's just too much of a move in too short a time. But yeah, I mean, right now it's looking good. You know, it's kind of testing to see if it can go above 8,000 right now, and the indicators are looking great. Nice big rebound on the RSI, starting to move back towards 70. We'll want to see a break above that. That will confirm the strength. And MACD looking really nice here, really big extended hook over, back now, trying to cross over. And if you've been following me, you know that I like this pattern with the very big, you know, loop of the MACD here. That means that, you know, the drop was overextended, and now we're really getting the kickback. So same thing on the histogram, moving up nicely, almost in the positive range. And yeah, Bitcoin looking great. You know, nothing to complain about here. Just have to wait and see till it makes a move above 8,000, and, you know, just kind of see it keep climbing. Like I said, first trend line over here will be the support level to make sure that Bitcoin holds moving forward. I think it will. And yeah, really not much else to say here. Just looking amazing for Bitcoin. Moving over to Ethereum now. And also I should mention that the fact that Bitcoin is doing well will probably help out with the altcoins going upwards similarly, because, you know, sometimes they kind of need Bitcoin to lead the way before they can actually make the move upwards. We saw that, you know, just in the past couple weeks. So let's check out what's been going on with Ethereum now. And Ethereum has actually been not doing bad, just had a bit of a pullback here in the past 2 days. Let me move over to the Coinbase exchange, and to kind of explain what's going on here, we're really pretty much dead center in between my range that I drew in between these two black lines. So that corresponds to $352, which is the big resistance level to pay attention to right now. Actually a bit lower than that, you know, it's really 350, but and of course $312. So right now it is experiencing a little bit of a pullback. You know, the Bollinger Bands are still a bit expanded. How big of a pullback will this be? You know, it really depends. Right now, it may want to go a bit lower and test back the $312 area, or, you know, we did have a little bit of a long lower wick. So what that means is that, you know, the prices were actually bought up pretty nicely here today, and that could mean that we're already, you know, set to make our way back towards, you know, the higher levels and really test out that $350 mark, which, you know, I kind of expect in the next, I guess, week or two, probably, if everything goes well. You know, Ethereum isn't looking bad. It's just not moving as quick as maybe some people would have hoped. But I did mention, you know, in a previous daily crypto update here recently, that I didn't think this move was going to be, you know, as sharp as, for example, Litecoin or something like that. I said that this was probably going to be a little bit of a dragged out move that was kind of slow and steady, like it was over here. And it's kind of following that pattern right now, which is completely fine. So just going to have to wait and see. But, you know, it's not looking bad. The RSI is pulling back a little bit. MACD is still upwards. Just a matter of time here, I would say, at this point, before Ethereum gets its way to 350, at which point then it can maybe gain a little bit more momentum and start moving quicker towards $400. Litecoin acting as expected, like I said, and doing really good today. So we actually have a pretty significant breakout here above the $67 mark, currently trading at $68.47 on Coinbase. And this is a very, you know, important move, because that means that we're kind of out of this big resistance level that I had trouble with, you know, 2 times now. So we broke above that, and now we're just going to be looking for a pretty quick rise, I would say, to, you know, lower $80 over here, because there's a bit of a resistance level. I might as well draw that in actually now that we're moving higher. So that would be, you know, this area right here. And how quickly will it get there? You know, it really depends. If it has a lot of strength, it can get there pretty quickly. We'll also have to be careful of this, you know, $75 area as well. So that's just something to pay attention to. But, you know, in the next week or two, I think it'll be moving through these levels really quickly. And, you know, as far as the indicators are looking, they're looking good. MACD moving up nicely here, even gaining some strength. Histogram moving upwards, and the RSI really kicking up here, you know, above the 60 level. And we're going to be looking for a break above the 70 line here pretty soon. So yeah, I mean, this is the breakout that I was expecting to see. This is what I wanted to see. And now that this is, you know, over with, I'm much more confident in the fact that Litecoin will see the increase towards $100 here, you know, within the next month. So great news for Litecoin, great news for anyone holding Litecoin. Let's see, other than that, let's move over to Ripple. Like I said, Ripple has actually been struggling a bit, but today got a little bit of relief from that. So let's see what's been going on with Ripple. Wow, massive candlestick here today, all the way up to 32 cents. It had done that a couple, days ago as well. And sold off from that completely. That's probably just due because there's so much resistance for Ripple, kind of all over the place here. So it's going to take a while for it to really be able to clear that up. But, this is the beginning of that today, I would say. And we're moving up towards the 60 level on the RSI. There's going to be some resistance there. So might as well throw in a black horizontal line. And MACD moving up nicely now, really kicking back up into action. Same thing with the histogram, uptrending nicely. As far as the price action goes, like I said, we broke above this 21-cent resistance level. That was kind of the breakout of today. And we're now out of that whole messy range that we're in now for, a while, about 2 weeks it looks like. And we're now above this black line, right? And the big resistance level to pay attention to is going to be this downtrend line over here, right, the pink line. So we'll want to see a break above that in the short term, probably next week or two as well, if the altcoin the altcoin market really moves up nicely. And that'll be a pretty, big move where we could really move back up until the mid 20-cent area. I'm pretty hopeful that that will happen. We can see the beginning of the Bollinger Bands expanding. That's a very good sign. Usually means that, a big powerful move is in play here, maybe like we saw in previously over here. And we'll have support from the middle band, the brown line, that's currently at 20 cents as well. That'll start moving up. So I'll say it's looking well. It'll obviously, face a little bit of resistance here, but it should be able to get through that and really start coming back to its higher levels, back up until, the high 20-cent area. So yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy to see that it finally managed to get out of that sort of little nightmare that it was in for a while. But things are definitely looking up for Ripple at this point. And yeah, not much else to say there. Just want to make sure that we can keep on moving upwards and really just get out of this downtrend that it's been in. So let's see, moving over to our next cryptocurrency, that's going to be NEO. And NEO is down slightly today, yet another very flat candlestick, so a doji candlestick here. We actually did make a higher low and a higher high today, which is always a good sign. Very, very range bound as of right now for NEO. We can see that with the middle bands, the Bollinger Bands that are very contracted. It's obviously trending up along the uptrend line over here, which is what I wanted to see. I kind of just expect that to continue. Hopefully it won't get too much weakness and, fall below that. It would still probably bounce off this $24 mark where we have our support level. But yeah, ultimately we just want to make sure that it keeps trending higher until it's able to get a breakout of this $33 mark and really start moving and recovering to previous highs, So just have to wait and see. Our indicators not looking that good, RSI is kind of downtrending right now, and other than that, MACD very flat, not really giving us much information on what is to happen just yet. So unfortunately, the indicators aren't really helpful for NEO right now. But let's go over to Vertcoin, and Vertcoin is, of course, going through the pullback and the consolidation that I was talking about, for about 2 weeks now, I think. And that's going to be in between this $4.85 mark and $3.36. So this range right here is where, it's consolidating. It'll probably consolidate a bit longer, especially after the drop today. It's not really anything to worry about, could be a potential area to accumulate, but, that's not financial advice. That's just my opinion. Ultimately, though, after this consolidation is out of the way, it'll probably start moving into this higher range where it's between $4.85 and $6, at which point it might even consolidate a bit more, but it would be in a higher, more bullish range. So just have to pay attention to make sure that it holds this $3.36 mark. But other than that, yeah, definitely expect some more consolidation based on the indicators as well, where we now broke out of the uptrend on the histogram. MACD still trending completely downwards, and the RSI is, kind of holding this 52 level on the RSI, but we may dip below that. We'll just have to wait and see. Unfortunately, Vertcoin just facing the consequences of a very quick increase. You know, that's all there is to it. But still bullish on Vertcoin. I think it's a great cryptocurrency. Moving over to Monero, this one has actually been taking a little bit of a breather as well. Now, 4 days with very flat candlesticks, and yeah, I mean, this is just consolidation at its finest, really. I mean, look at this. It's having a lot of trouble breaking through this $123 area. Now, we're obviously going to want to see it hold this pink uptrend line over here, and that's really going to be what's going to help support the price and, you know, edge it higher as we move forward. Now, we might see, you know, if it has some weakness here, if it wants to consolidate a bit more before really, you know, breaking out towards its highs, it falling back into this $102 mark and $121 and really getting a bit longer of a consolidation than maybe expected. It's moving back towards this 57 area on the RSI. So, you know, this could be indicative that there's maybe a bit more consolidation that needs to be done, or that, you know, it's just a little bit of a pullback here and we will actually hold this uptrend line and move higher into the $121 and $137 range, consolidate there, and really be able to move up until the all-time high after that. So just have to wait and see. And yeah, Monero likes to consolidate. We've seen that with this massive consolidation over here. So I guess don't be surprised, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'll keep you guys updated, of course. And Omigo, let's see, Omigo down quite a bit today, unfortunately. Looks like about 8%, and it's still in the range that I was talking about, which, you know, it's in between these two trend lines over here. So that's the previous uptrend line, which is currently resistance, and the current uptrend line, which is acting as support, of course. Now it is holding above that. Definitely don't want to see it break below that. That would start getting pretty ugly and really send it into lower levels here, the lower range that it was consolidating in. We don't really want to go back down there, to be honest. We did dip below the uptrend line on the RSI. MACD still uptrending, but it looks like it might start crossing back over. Really depends here. This could just be a big pullback, and we will keep on trending in between these two trend lines, or we know we're going to start falling to lower levels. That's not really what I would want to see for Omigo right now, because, you know, I'm expecting the altcoins to do well. So if it starts acting bad already now, you know, what's in store for the future, who knows? But definitely not the best sign if it loses this uptrend line over here. Other than that, you know, we'll just want to make sure that this middle Bollinger Bands flatten out, and hopefully then we could really start moving back upwards. But right now, you know, there does seem to be a bit of shakiness at play for Omigo, unfortunately. And let's move over to our final cryptocurrency of this daily crypto update. That's going to be Lisk. And like I said, Lisk is actually doing really nicely today. Big breakout. Actually made a high of, wow, $12.21. That's just mind-blowing. I mean, I can't even believe that, to be honest. I mentioned how if it broke above this $9 mark, we'd probably see it move towards $10 pretty quickly, but it actually went all the way up until $12. So that's the new all-time high. That is the new, you know, kind of big resistance level that I'll see moving forward. I don't really think it'll get back to that just yet. You know, that was obviously a bit of an overextended move, and you can see that by the big upper wick, which represents the sell-off that it had after that, sending it all the way back to $8.82. But with that being said, now that we're above this, you know, $8.60 level, which is going to be some major support now. And yeah, that's kind of what I can see as sort of the baseline now, and kind of just maybe trading between that and, you know, $10. It really depends. This is kind of new territory for Lisk, but it looks like it might want to consolidate a bit longer in this range over here before actually coming back and you know, moving up into the higher range. So just have to wait and see. But I mean, it's keeping its uptrend going. It's continuing. Let me actually draw the uptrend line for you know, future reference. But so the short-term uptrend line is going to be actually a pretty sharp uptrend right over here. And yeah, it really depends. You know, it might want to consolidate a bit after the big breakout, or, you know, we'll just keep on moving higher. It really depends. We are in the overbought area on the RSI, but, you know, with a big breakout like that, it could stay there for a while. MACD still taking off, so not much really to say there. Might as well point out the big volume that we had today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, Bollinger Band still very expanded. Middle band moving upwards. I will let you know moving forward as it clears up where, how much strength it has less, stuff like that. Other than that, I appreciate you watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a great day.